Alright, so it's gonna be October soon, and October is Naruto month. And what does Shinobi Collection do for Naruto month? Well, we get Team 7. So to start, we're gonna go over normal Shinobi Collection because we're gonna get multiple type of new characters. So the first one is we're gonna get 2 legendary potentials for the god Sakuras in the game. So this is version 2. I got confused for a second. I'm like, is this version 1? But no, version 1 already has legendary potential. So this is version 2 Sakura. She will be getting a legendary potential, and let's check out how good it is. So deal 1.2 million fixed damage to all enemies. Pretty average. If it's a none, you skip. That's whatever. Grant slug division state to the ally with the lowest HP. That S1 is pretty garbage. S2 is just buff, remove negative special state. She didn't really age well, but she removes terrain, so if you really need someone to remove terrain and you got multiple copies of the Sakura, I guess it's okay. But like, I myself don't even have the Sakura, and I'm not hurting to get her. So her lead is pretty bad. Her ability, if there's a non-enemy, you start with her God State. And if there's an ally, Naruto or Sasuke, grant instant action when attack. That's whatever. 2 revive is whatever. And then they used to do this to every gods in the game, where they take 50% less damage against 40 costs. But 40 costs don't exist anymore, so this don't really matter anymore. And type advantage against black. And to be honest, if I have her, I wouldn't dupe her out. She's just not that good. So that's done with that. And then the next character is a better one, which is version 3 Sakura. This Sakura is possibly one of the best characters in the game, just because she takes care of the most annoying thing in this meta, in my opinion. So the first one is, first she deals AoE. AoE is the way to go, especially for legendary potential unit. Chance to inflict charm. Charm is a status effect. I don't remember if this ignores resistance. Let me check if this ignores resistance real quick, because that matters in this meta. It doesn't ignore resistance, so it's nice to have, but it's not really something you should rely on. Remove enemy positive special and god state. That's amazing. If it's a non-Konoha, you deal 3 additional attacks. That's really good. But most of the time you won't be fighting a Konoha anyway, so this is probably not gonna matter. And then her S2, she heals the party. She grants her god state to herself and guts, and then she revives a random dead ally. Her god state is, when she gets attacked, remove status effect and grant instant action. That's not bad. And then removing immune to negative special state, withstand, and then some stats buff. But the main thing of why you want to run this Sakura is her ability 1, which is remove party status effect every turn. Status effect is the best type of debuffs in the game right now. There's not a lot that makes you immune to it. Even if they are, there's not a lot that removes it. And this one that removes it passively, which is amazing. And her her ability 2 is just insta cast, and then she revives party when she dies, which is pretty solid. So now, we've been saying this a lot in the past, that if Sakura gets her legendary potential, it's probably gonna skyrocket her to like triple S, and that's definitely the case. She's definitely triple S, and possibly the 3rd best god in the game, or 3rd best 90 cost in the game. She's just that good. And yeah, and then with that, the next character we're gonna talk about, Sasuke Uchiha. We are getting GK version 4 now, Sasuke Uchiha. But this is only the 2nd Konoha GK Sasuke. But is it good? I don't. If you can already see here in the side, I got him in A+ tier because he just doesn't make any sense. Like, before we start with the skill, let's go down to his stats. If you look at his stats, 25 million. That's very basic and normal for legendary potential unit. So if you have him LP5, that's gonna be what his enemy HP looks like. Do 60 chakra, also very basic. Attack stats hasn't mattered in years. And then if you look at the speed stats, 11,744. That's something I like to call fake stats. Because why do you need 11,744 speeds when speed hasn't mattered in like 2 years? So if you look at the speed stats, if you look at this around 4 years ago, you would see 11,000. You'd be like, oh, that's amazing. He'll be going every single turn. But that's not how the meta is right now. What's better than 11,000 speed? Instant action. And pretty much 99%, maybe even 100% of the brand new units in the game, they get instant action for free. Guess what? This Sasuke already has instant action built in. So that's fake stats. Don't look at 11,000 and be excited that, oh, this Sasuke is the fastest character in the game. When everyone's the fastest character in the game because they get instant action. So with that, let's start his lead. His lead is amazing. But again, don't get tricked by it. Konoha, this is for Konoha only. So he is what I said before, he's the second Konoha God Killer Sasuke in the game. Start the battle with 100% chakra. Everyone has like no chakra problems. The chakra problem hasn't been in the thing for years. High chance to grant first strike. Really good. But guess what? Naruto is guaranteed. So, and it's for 5 village. So why would I want to run him as lead when he is only a high chance and Naruto's guaranteed? 2 turns, speed plus 500%. What I said earlier. Speed don't matter. And then ability 1. Eyes watching the world. Change the terrain to God Fire Karma at the start of battle. And win attack. How is that? It's basic. Pretty much every GK has that now. And then grant task unique state at the start of battle. So now we're giving normal units. This is the second 90 cost that has a unique state. The very first one was the God Obito, who, if I wanted to remind you guys, hot garbage. So with that, high chance to grant first strike. Ooh, I spelled that wrong. With those been typing too fast. But high chance to grant first strike. Is that useful? Hell no. When your lead already grants first strike, and every Konoha lead you're gonna run is either him, just for the first strike, or V11 Naruto, you already has first strike built into every 5 village / Konoha. So this is unnecessary. High chance to grant instant action when attack. Again, as what I said earlier, that's really good, which means this 11,000 speed don't matter. So then ability 2, if there's a non-enemy, speed and skill damage plus 500% per turn, max 1500. 1500. A revive plus 3. Now, this is why this stat is also fake. The meta is Konoha right now, which means if you don't see an enemy, that don't matter. So this ability could literally just says revive plus 3. Because most of the time you won't be fighting none. You'll be fighting Konoha 9 times out of 10. So now, another fake stat. All his stats are fake. And then blue type specialization and crush. Pretty much basic and everyone has it. Now, let's go over his skills and why this Sasuke is a tragedy. His skill 1. Deal 3% plus 1.8 millions to all enemies. Pretty basic. Remove enemy positive special in God state. Okay. Deal 6 additional attacks, dealing 880,000 damage. That's a lot of damage right there. But I'm gonna explain to you in a bit why that damage don't matter again. You see a theme here? Everything Sasuke does don't matter or fake. Then high chance to ignore resistance and inflict sealed state. That's useless. Always hit. And then his skill 2. Go ahead. Deal 1.8 million damage to all enemies. So his skill 2 deals damage. If it's LP5, that'll be really good for fast clearing the early stage. So you don't have to be there watching the animation. Inflict cast speed -2. Okay. Grant task unique state. That's a unique state, so that can't be removed. Change the terrain to God Fire Karma, which you're already gonna change at the start of battle when you get attacked. So what does that do? For allies, insta kill immunity, really nice. and skills deals type advantage. Also don't matter. Enemies, skill damage buff immunity. I don't know how that works because not a lot of people buff their skills. And I don't know if this is preventing the buff or just the general skill damage up, which is like gears and stuff or something like this. We don't know that yet. And then after that, it is, yeah, high chance to ignore resistance and skill dodge and inflict sealed state when they take a turn. Also very useless. Task, speed plus 300%, that's what I said earlier, fake stats. Cast speed is set to flash, everyone's already flash or instant action, don't matter. Grant instant action after Naruto Uzumaki's action, really good. Which means this don't matter and the speed don't matter. So, how much of this kit don't matter? 90% of it. The only thing that you really care for this is probably the skills deals type advantage, but then I'll go over why that in reality don't matter. And then this grant instant action after Naruto Uzumaki's action, that's really good. And then you're removing state, but that don't matter. We'll go over why all of these don't matter one by one. Deal 6 additional attacks, dealing 880k. That's really good, but it's very low. And then high chance to ignore, that don't matter. So 90, pretty much, you could say his entire kit don't matter. The only thing that really matters is his lead, which in the end is inferior to a lead that already exists. Now let's go over one by one why these stuffs just don't end up mattering. 1.8, 880k, 6 additional attacks. The reason why that in the end don't matter is because the meta right now is run by Kizuna Kakashi. It's English? Yeah. Kizuna Kakashi at the start of battle will give everyone on the team the will to protect unique state. The will to protect unique state, here's what that does. Will to protect, where is that? Over here. Remove an immune to negative special in God state. That alone means this sealed state will never inflict. So that's one thing in Sasuke that don't matter. When attacked, damage limit is set to 700k. 880k over here will go down to 700,000 every single time, which means he's only doing 6 times 700,000. So all of this stuff that you see right here, these are all fake. So 700,000 plus 700,000 times 6. Let's get the calculator out. That's how much damage we'll be doing. So with the calculator out, just move this to the side of my screen because it won't. 700,000 times 7. He'll be doing 4.9 million damage per turn. The reason why I said that's trash and very low, if you look at the current meta right now, let's go over V11. V11 has 17. 10 over here, 7 built in, and then 10 if they're jutsu sealed. This will probably won't trigger, which is fine, because you still have 7. So that's 700,000 times 8. So he'll be doing 5.6 million compared to Sasuke's 4.9 million. And then you look at Kakashi. Kakashi has 10 additional attacks. So now you're doing 700,000 times 11, which is 7.7 million attack damage. Higher than Sasuke and higher than Naruto. Then we go back to Kizuna Kakashi. Kizuna Kakashi is 9 additional attacks. So now that's 7 million damage compared to Sasuke's 4.9 million damage. These don't matter. His skill 1, oh, I forgot to talk about remove enemy positive special state and why that doesn't matter also. That don't matter because over here you're sealing them, and most of the time you'll be switching to Obito. And when you switch to Obito, what does Obito do? Is it this one? Yeah. He inflicts the effect of disable positive and special state. So disabling positive, special, and God state is pretty much the meta for state removals right now. So you hit them with that. Also, you're gonna be hitting them with hatred, which is preventing them from buffing anyway. So just because Kizuna Kakashi and Obito exists, his skill 1 is literally useless. Nothing in this skill 1 is worth the slot. And then let's go over his skill 2. 1.8 million damage, again, 700,000. Inflict cast speed -2. They already do -2 to -5. And then change the terrain. This is where another, like, just why? GREE, this doesn't make any sense. So what they're trying to do is make Sasuke. They're trying to make one character that takes the role, which I don't like using the word role, the role of Kakashi and Naruto together. Well, mostly Naruto, but doing it just horribly. Like, just very bad. So let's go over this. What happens if you run Sasuke and he can't put his terrain up? Let's say this terrain doesn't exist. So we have a Sasuke that doesn't provide insta-kill immunity, that doesn't give skill, just deals type advantage, that doesn't give immunity there and then just seals. Well, this already don't matter because of Kizuna Kakashi's unique state. So now Sasuke is not providing this because you're going to be running Kakashi. Kakashi and Sasuke will be fighting for the terrain. Well, not really fighting because Kakashi's terrain locks. So as soon as Kakashi's terrain goes up, Sasuke can never get in. So now, if you run both of them together, you don't have this. But let's say you bench Kakashi. But why would you bench Kakashi? Because Kakashi is the best Konoha. This is what you're benching. You're benching, as what I said earlier, what, 770 million damage? Well, no, 7.7 million damage. Guaranteed paralyze, guaranteed skip, guaranteed seal. Paralyze and skip are status effect. No one's immune to status effect. So you're removing that and you're having sealed state instead that people are immune to. So you're fighting. Would you rather take sealed state or seal and paralyze? And Kakashi also insta-kills on his S. I don't have it in here because I haven't fixed the translation yet since they updated it. Over here, Kakashi also insta-kills if they're sealed. S1 skips and S1 seals. And then if you look at his terrain, cut in every time someone takes an action. Really amazing. And then just removes their state every turn. So there's your other state removal, so you don't need this anymore. Kakashi brings that. And then you also paralyze them every time they take an action. Kakashi's terrain is like a 10 out of 10, and Sasuke's terrain is like a 3 out of 10. Sasuke's terrain is only skill deals type advantage, and that don't matter because LP5 exists. So his terrain is literally useless. His unique state is just a speed buff. Like, hello? What is this character? Why do I need? And then look at Naruto. Naruto's lead is 5 village and is guaranteed. Also 0 chakra cost, so that's not a problem. Naruto also makes your team immune to illusion. That's really good. Sasuke doesn't do that. So now Sasuke doesn't even give that. Why would I run him? If I look at his potential, he gives it to himself. Naruto gives it to his whole party. Just, what's the point of this character? For real. And then Naruto also gives Omni Protection. Really good, but don't really matter because Kizuna Kakashi gives Omni Protection. Gives extra turn. Really, really good. I don't think Kizuna Kakashi gives that, but extra turn is really good. Immortality if you really need it. Fixed damage immunity, which means now he's doing 700k because this is fixed damage. So you're not even doing that. And then Naruto gives a type advantage to everyone. Every 5 village. Sasuke is really worthless. There's no point this Sasuke would ever be in a Konoha team. The way Konoha is built right now is very strict. The team built for Konoha is easily this. Kizuna Kakashi, and then you switch to Obito if you want to get the hatred state. Your lead will be Naruto for the first strike. Freaking GK Kakashi because he's just there just to do every dirty work. Whereas damage or insta-kill. You need your Enbu, which is either Sakura or Tsunade, and Gai or Kakashi. Either of those two work perfectly fine with each other. And then the last 90 cost slot is literally the Sakura that just got buffed. Or whoever you want to put in there. You can put Gaara in there, you can put Temari in there. But Sakura just got buffed, you can put her in there. He's probably getting a legendary potential soon. So that's another thing that I should go over. He's an Uchiha, which means Hashirama's gonna go wild now against Konoha if you're running it. Konoha's biggest thing right now, they don't run Uchihas. If Hashirama sees an Akatsuki, Itachi's on the team, Uchiha. If he sees a Nun, Madara's in the team, on Uchiha. Now, do you really want to run Konoha with an Uchiha and just makes Hashirama really excited and just destroy. He eliminates states from the game just because of his stuff. So that's another bad thing for him. He's an Uchiha. He's an Uchiha who just makes your life miserable. If you see a Hashirama, his skill 1 doesn't bring anything you want. His skill 2 doesn't bring anything that you want. His terrain is just gonna mess up your Kakashi's terrain. And then his S1 does his ability 2 just doesn't exist if you don't fight a nun. Like what is the point of this unit? This unit is just horrible, and his stats are fake. What have they done? And let's go over his gear. I didn't go over his gears yet. So skill damage and speed plus 150%, cast speed plus 2, high chance for extra turn, chakra cost minus 50%. This is really good, but like Naruto already gives that, so whatever. And then over here is every turn you remove negative, you remove debuff. Yeah, negative special and negative god state. Whatever. You already have Omni Protection because of Kizuna Kakashi. 2 turns of skill immunity. Who cares about that? Literally, this is the most useless character I've seen. Of all the characters they have released so far. Let's go over the orders of what came out. This came out game breaking. Best Kizuna in the game. You can even argue they're the best character in the game, and I wouldn't like fight you with it. You could say they're 1A and then Kakashi is 1B. That's perfectly fine. So they came out really good. Game breaking, meta changing. Then let's go over the other units that came out this month. So he's gonna be coming out tomorrow. Literally trash. They don't do much. Akatsuki is really struggling right now because freaking everything counters them. So, like, they don't really bring much. Plus, Nagato and Itachi is superior. And then after that, it's the champion unit. So they're nice on the box. Literally, like, you could argue the best character in the game. And then these two just stops Akatsuki, but like no one really summons for them because they're sand. So like we get 2 units that are really game breaking for Konoha team. And then we get another Konoha that's just like, he looks nice in my box. I'm never gonna use him though. So like, they need to do what they did with Kakashi, but I don't know if they can do that. They need to buff him bad. 6 additional attack is very low for this meta. Sealed, change that to just a normal seal. It doesn't need to be a status effect. I don't know why. Can we turn this English? No, it's not working yet. I don't know why it has to be a state. States don't matter. Like, you look at how they built Kakashi. Kakashi has 0 states, and that works 100%. And Sasuke, his debuff is a state. His terrain, if that terrain locked, that would make him worse. The fact that you can replace the terrain, which just means this is just not part of his kit. So all this does is 1.8 million damage. Fate, like not task state, is just, it does nothing. Literally, this Sasuke is the poster boy of like, I look cool, but I don't do anything. And GREE, please stop making it so obvious that you don't like Sasuke. Like, this is not even funny. Like, October, which is Naruto's birthday, you give a legendary potential to one unit that wants it the most. Naruto is getting his own character, which I will talk about in another video, which is the one-tailed version in tactics. And like, just a hint, that unit is a god. That unit is a monster. So we have Sakura, who's really, really good. We have Kizuna Kakashi, who came out like a couple weeks ago. Really, really good. Naruto is gonna be really good because V11 is pretty much broke Konoha. He's the main reason why they're meta. And then Sasuke is here, just like, he doesn't even fit in the team. Like, it's just so bad, man. Like, do better, GREE. Do better. This is just not it. I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.